You know, I feel men on how they feel about women sometimes. Let me tell you why. Me, I'm literally a girl's girl. And I don't say that. And I don't like saying that because people who are something don't usually have to tell people that they are this thing. But there are sometimes you can be somebody, and other people will portray you as something different because of the way it looks and it seems, the circumstances, whatever, right? The situations that you be in. People say, there's a saying that people be like, oh, you forgive that so much. Why won't you forgive your friends the same way you forgive that man? Well, I was that girl. I was that woman that continuously and constantly forgave my female friends for the stuff they was doing, and they kept doing it. And this is why I'm gonna tell y'all, don't keep doing it. I'm gonna tell y'all stories about it. Let me tell you. So this is the first.
Oh, you can't just be out here forgiving your female friends because they're gonna cross the line. They're gonna push the envelope every chance they get that they don't get their head chopped off, and they gonna cry every time they about to see some consequences.
Let me tell you, because before I even get into the stories, this girl came back to me with a long ass message like she misses me. She missed her friend. That's what she said. I held her accountable and I was like, but what about all of this stuff that you did to me? What about this? What about that? Are you gonna apologize? And this girl, she just cut me off. She didn't say nothing. The bitch ghosted me after that. I mean, like, you just wanted to be my friend if I was just gonna keep on putting up with your bullshit? I mean, I do have a lot of good stories about her, but I'm gonna tell you the bad ones first. And I'm gonna break down some of these. I'm gonna make them a little short. So one time this girl calls me and she's like, Jasmine, we got an apartment. Me and so and so got an apartment. You wanna come stay with us? Whatever, whatever, because I know you don't wanna be where you at or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come, stay with y'all a little bit, come kick with y'all. I knew better, so I only brought a bag. I brought like a bag and a book bag, right? No clothes and some necessary things that I needed. She didn't say that she was having issues with her rent and she was on the verge of being evicted from her apartment. I go out one day looking for like a job or running some errands or something. All I know is I came back. She was gone from the apartment. All her stuff was gone from the apartment. She was evicted. Some of her things, some of the garbage things or whatever, they were outside in the front, like she had been evicted. So I'm like, obviously, I'm looking at all the signs. I'm like, this girl got evicted. So where's my stuff? So I'm looking around for my stuff, like in the little debris, the rest of the stuff that was put out. And I'm like, I look over and I see my one bag, and it's open, and it's been ransacked, y'all. Tell me why folks stole my high blood pressure medicine and my dirty underwear. So I'm thinking to myself, this girl took all her stuff. She couldn't take my one bag? My one bag? My one bag. Fast forward, she stays in a different apartment now, right? I'm staying somewhere else. She asked me to come and stay with her because she tells me this time her and her man don't have a job and they need someone with a job to come stay with them, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll come, stay with you. I didn't necessarily want to be where I was at, so I was like, okay, I'll come stay with you. I don't forgave her for the last situation where, she just left my bag outside or whatever. And she was like, oh, girl, I don't know. They got that stuff so fast. And I think she did say that people had stole some of her stuff or whatever. I don't know. So I'm there watching them do the funny stuff they do to get money or whatever. And I'm also contributing and giving them money for being there. We agreed that I would pay I think it was like $250 at the time. And I was making about $8. I think it was $8.50. I was secretary. I was 18 years old. I was doing all right. So, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give 250. It's three of us here. Mind you, I don't need to be there, and I'm staying in her child's room with the child, and it's an extra small room. So they're asking me later on if I can contribute $50 extra to the rent. Like, can I pay them $300 instead because they need more money? And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that because the way I budgeted my funds out, I really don't have a lot of money to spend for lunch on myself, because it's getting straining me a little bit. One day, my friend calls me from the room in which I'm staying in, and her child's not there at the time. It's just her man, and me, and she's talking to me about something, and I'm sitting there, kind of observing the conversation and realizing that she's not really talking about anything. And her man had left the room as soon as I had came in the room, and I'm like, what's in my mind? I'm not saying it out loud. I'm just like, what's going on? Because this is a little weird. She's not really talking to me about nothing. It's almost like she's trying to distract me. So I was like, hold on, girl, let me go in the room and let me see something real quick. Because also, mind you, it's a certain time of day and the sun is peering through the window at a certain angle, and I can see this man's shadow. And he's going in the room, and I'm watching his shadow, bend over and what looks like he's like rummaging through my bag, or like which is sitting on the bed. I know I'm dealing with thieves. I know my friend, and I know how they operate. So I keep my money. I always kept my money in my bra. I slowly walked into the room on this man going through my purse, and he literally jumps up and he's like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" Trying to play it off like I didn't just see him trying to steal from me. It was at that point I realized I really need to keep my eyes on her in that one that she was with, and I needed to maybe like separate. Definitely. Things had progressed fairly quickly. After that situation, I believe I went to work, and I came back and the lights was off. and she had moved out. Like she still had things there, but she went to go stay somewhere else because she could, I guess. And but the lights in her house was off. And I continued to go on about my day as I was, because I had a job to maintain and I was staying there, and I couldn't just immediately up and go. Just. So for like a week or two, I continued to stay at this place with no lights and um, get ready for work and continue my day. I think I would go to the gym to take a shower or whatever. But yeah, you would think that she could have told me or let me know that the lights was gonna get turned out. I mean, I think I reached out to her and I called her, and she didn't answer. She wouldn't answer for me. So I was like, okay, that's messed up. As you probably would guess, time went on, and we ended up reconnecting again. And I forgave her for that situation, and went. I would continue to go out with her to places. Like, it was water under the bridge. She never really mentioned it, but I just, was like, okay, whatever, we're being cool again. Time has went on again, but I reconnected with her, and now I'm out with her. I pulled up on her, and I'm driving around with her, and I'm spending the whole day with her, right? And she's telling me, oh, there's, this party her family's having or whatever later on at night that I can come to and kick with her. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And at this time, I have a child. I have my oldest, and she's a baby. She's like 3 years old, and I'm bringing her to the party, and at night with the fam or whatever, right? It's nighttime. She's drunk already, and she I meet up with her after I pulled up and parked my car in the neighborhood, on the block somewhere. And she's walking to my car to walk me and my daughter back to the party, I guess, spot. I asked her to get my child for me, hold her hand while I gather my things from the truck, the rest of my little person belongings, whatever. She is having a hard time. She's already drunk. And she said something like, oh, I don't know. She gets frustrated with my child, and she's like, I'll get her before I unalive her in the middle of the street. And I paused because, like, I know I didn't hear what I think you just said, but she's drunk.